Hello, this is part 2 of confidence or sabotage. And in the last video, I described in detail how we sabotage and ways to start to calm our system. But I want to just give you a quick understanding or model of what it looks like to be confident. And so I reversed engineer a model of what I believe is necessary to be confident human beings. So the idea here, let me just draw this out in a model, and excuse my handwriting if if you can't read it. I'm going to try my best. All right, so the idea here is we would like to ultimately be confident, right? It's a good feeling. We can show up in the world, we can share our message, we can do it with kindness and compassion and with conviction or clarity, which to me is what confidence looks like, right? Showing up in the world as our authentic selves rather than a learned self. So to become confident, right, to me, it's a critical component to confidence is courage. So I need to be able to bring myself to a state or a level of courage. And when I'm in the vibration of courage, I am able to then trial things, right? So when I'm in a state of courage, I can try, I can take healthy risks, right? I can sort of try new things. I can experiment. These are all things that I can do when I feel courageous, right? It's a good level to be in. If you know me at all, you know I also talk a lot about Dr. David Hawkins and his levels of confidence, levels of consciousness that he did for his PhD. If you don't know him, please check him out. Power versus Force is one of his books, or Letting Go, another excellent book. The idea of levels of consciousness are a brilliant concept that are related to our vibrations as a human being. So when we're in the vibration of courage or a level of 200 or above, we can, again, try new things, take healthy risks, and experiment, right? And the more we do that, as we know, it takes 10,000 tries to become an expert. The more we do that, the more confident we will be. So the other thing about being courageous is that it also allows us to take risks and see how things are when we're being our authentic self, right? Not what we think the world wants, but our true self. But to be courageous, we need something else, right? In order to be courageous, we have to be able to comfort ourselves. So as you know from the last video, I talked a lot about the importance of comforting so that we don't sabotage ourselves. And the key here, and I'm going to emphasize this, is that there are two components that we need in order to comfort ourselves. And the one behind the comfort is self-compassion. And before self-compassion is to calm our system. Right? Through sort of a caring mode, right? And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be committing to a practice this idea of self-compassion and comforting the self, right? We want to calm our system again from that last video. We want to calm our system, and then we want to bring self-compassionate talk to ourselves, which will allow us to then feel comforted. And when we're feeling like we can comfort, and this is the key, when we can comfort ourselves, when we learn how to do this, that is when we will feel that we can take those courageous risks. And then as we do that over and over again, we will then become confident. I don't know how I'm coming across to you guys in these videos. What I can tell you is I swore that I would never ever be able to do something like this. And I certainly wouldn't be able to sort of stand up live in front of people. I wouldn't be able to do those reels, those sorts of things. And yet, as I calmed my system down, had more self-compassionate talk, I was able to bring myself to that state of comfort. And from there, I'm like, wow, you know what? I know that I can comfort myself if things don't go well when I take a risk. And because I know I can comfort myself if things go wrong when I try something new, I have the confidence to go out and do it. And then the more I do that, the more confident I can get. And this is what I'm sharing with you. So that is the real key here. So I know some of this was repetitive from the last video, but the real message I'm trying to get to you here is that when I have created this consistent practice, I will know that I can handle anything. And there's a quote behind me above my head there by Rabindranath Tagore, who is an incredible poet, artist, creative, truly everything under the sun, quite remarkable human. And his words are, and I will read, "Let us not pray to be sheltered from dangers, but to be fearless when facing them." And in order to be fearless when facing them, I need to know that I can comfort myself, right? So it's not that I'm going to go and I'm only going to take the safe road and that's all good. I'm going to take risks and know that if I fall, that's okay. I know how to comfort and soothe myself. And if we think about that when we were little kids, right? If we were parented in a way that was overly cautious, don't do this, don't do that, I never learned how to comfort. I didn't even get to go. I avoided everything. Let's say I did go out and do things, but then no one comforted me when I fell or when I hurt myself, then I'm also going to be like, yeah, I don't want to do that either. That doesn't feel good. So we want to really learn how to comfort and soothe ourselves. I want to just have one caveat to all this. A lot of people just endure things without comforting, and they still take the risks and they still do the things. I'll say that's still sabotaging your confidence, because by enduring something, it is distressing. And why do that? Like, I guess my basic question, why do that when we can learn this beautiful skill of comforting? So again, dropping the shoulders, taking full deep breaths, and then slowly calming the body so that the brain can say, oh, we're not in threat anymore, and then bringing the mind into it with kind, loving thoughts, self-compassionate thoughts, and encouraging thoughts, right, from there. So that is the formula for ultimately becoming confident and knowing that I can take risks and I can do things because I can comfort myself. I'm not dependent on anybody. I've created that, I've learned that, I've practiced that, and it's now part of who I am. Hope you found that helpful, and I look forward to hearing comments and seeing how it goes from everybody as you hopefully start to practice. Thanks.